Hey y'all, Luck here, and what I decided to do was, I've seen a lot of people trying to take off in airplanes and they just kind of all over the sky. So I thought I'd show the difference. I mean, we can all take off in jets, seems like now, but taking off an airplane is a little bit more complex, and so I want to just kind of walk everybody through it. Um, Things you got to remember is that the engine is producing a lot of torque.
1400 Zulu aviation weather for
We'll just
Southeast
wait for this
England
to end.
military air operations. Currently, winds 9 knots at 218 degrees. Altimeter 29904. Scattered to broken clouds. Visibility more than 10 miles. Expect VFR conditions.
Okay, now that he's done. Anyway, the thing you got to remember is that you have a lot of torque, so you don't want to give it full throttle on takeoff. When you do that, your plane is going to be just acting, completely crazy. So one of the things we'll do is we'll get the plane up to about 100 knots, 100 miles an hour, giving it opposite rudder, which is going to be a little bit of right rudder and a little bit of right aileron, pushing forward gradually. You can see I'm at 100 knots. I'm going to nose down just a skosh to get this tail off the ground, and now I'm ready to pull up and take off. And then once you take off, you can undo the, put rudder back to center, and everything is back to kind of normal. And then, this is the P-51. I'm going to do a series of videos with the P-51. I think it's a very underappreciated plane. Some of the things that I also do on my P-51 is, if you notice right down here, the radiator and the oil coolant, I set them to open. And what that is this little vent on the bottom and the back vent. By opening those, I could run this thing much harder than, I could run it at the full 60 pounds of pressure, 600, I think that's 60 pounds or whatever, manifold pressure, and then I could also run the RPMs a little higher. What I'd also do is pull the RPMs back a little bit so it's able to go, you want to keep it under 30. Essentially, there I am at 29, and then just under 60 for the thing. Now I could run this plane like this all day, and then I'll get the maximum speed out of it. So anyway, that is it for the takeoff. Remember, a little bit of right rudder, a little bit of left aileron, and when you get off the ground, you can just center it all back up, and you'll be all set. Enjoy. There's my runway, and I'm setting up for landing. I've dropped the gear. I'm just under 200 miles an hour. I've pulled back the throttle, but I don't want to pull it back till you hear the horn sound. You want to keep it going just above that horn sound, so you don't stall or damage engine. But coming in to land, I'm just going to verify there's everything set up. I got my flaps down. I got my gear down. Setting it up for a landing. I want to be about 150 miles an hour when I land, maybe less actually. And when you land, you're going to try to land all three wheels at once instead of just your front wheels and then pull it back. It's easier just to kind of set it in there just as it stalls to get all three wheels down. So here I come, and beautiful day here in the England map. It's the channel map, 1944, and winter scene here. I like it. It's cool. But here I come. So notice my speed's about 150, and as I get lower here, I'm just going to cut back the throttle a little bit more. These warbirds, they like to glide and they like to float. So once you cut the power and everything, it doesn't fall like you think it will. And just getting down here, I hit the throttle off, so now I'm looking for that stall. And just as I stall in, there I am, see? All three wheels down. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed this little video. And so we did takeoff and landing in this video, so should be seeing people doing a little better when they take off and land the warbirds.